sign of things to come. Joel Embiid and the Sixers, they're moving on. What did they prove last night up in Toronto? And Sean McVay really laughed at Bill Belichick's draft pick. How dare you, good sir? All I can say is thank God it's Friday. Who is ready for the weekend? I have been toiling away all week. I am so excited the weekend's here.
Welcome back.
But I
welcome back.
I'm going to stay right here. Thank you.
Great to see you.
I genuinely missed you guys. I coughed my brains out at home, but missing you the entire time. Anyway,
great
so
to
happy
see
to be
you,
here. We have a great Friday show. I'm happy to be back. Thanks, Nick and Broussard and Wilds. Let's dive right in. We got some basketball to talk about. It was series clinching time last night, guys, across the board. Yeah, we do in the NBA. Start with a little Mavs Jazz, Game 6. Hey, what do we say about this Mavs team, right? Get out of round one, guys, then come talk to us. They are talking, actually I'm talking, the Dallas Mavericks winning a playoff series for the first time since 2011. 24 from Luka, 24 from Jalen Brunson. Mavs are moving on. Doesn't get any easier for them now. They'll face the Suns in round 2. But first things first, Nick Wright, in your mind, was there ever any doubt here?
Of course there was never a doubt. And it's not just because the Jazz are a fraudulent team that is about to be blown up. It is because the Dallas Mavericks employ an all-time great postseason performer. Oh, Nick, that's ridiculous. What? He just won his first playoff series. Let me prove it to you. Okay? How about most points per game in playoff history? Look, where does Luka Doncic stack up? Can we show you where Luka Doncic stacks up? Oh, second all time to one Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Okay, so that's scoring. What about passing? How does Luka stack up amongst the all-time greatest playoff passers? Let's just see. Oh, is that Luka Doncic in the top 8? Oh, I think it is. Along with 5 other Hall of Famers, John Wall and KJ. Oh, that is. Okay, but what about shooting? What about just, we're in a 3-point era. How does Luka stack up amongst the all-time great 3-point shooters in playoff history? Oh my goodness gracious. It's the Splash Brothers and Luka? What about Nick? It's too early. We need some pelts on the wall. Oh, okay. How about at 18 years old, a EuroLeague MVP? Does that matter? Nick, that's just Europe.
Oh, did you hear that?
What about the entire world?
No, EuroLeague MVP.
Oh,
no.
Did you hear that?
Got it?
Did you
Got it?
Hold on.
Wow.
What about when you're playing against the entire world, Brew? How about the Olympics? And you take a tiny, forgotten nation known as Slovenia to the semifinals. They'd never even been to the Olympics. Luka took them to the semifinals. How'd he do to start those Olympics? Oh, he had 48 points. 48 points start the Olympics. And what is the context under which Luka has done this, Broussard? How many all-star teammates has he had? 0. Who has he done it against? Oh, against Kawhi Leonard and Paul George? Against the Defensive Player of the Year 3 times over? That's who he's played against with no all-star teammates. So, yeah, Luka Doncic is, you can see with your eyes, you can see with the numbers, is one of the greatest playoff performers we've ever had.
Easier with
you guys can be late to this train. I'm driving it, Brew. I'm just telling you. So, yeah, there was never a doubt, buddy.
Yeah. And Ja Morant is a better game dunker than Vince Carter. And Jalen Brunson drives the basketball better than Dwayne Wade. And Jose Alvarado is the best playoff defender in NBA history. I mean, Nick, will you stop it?
That one's true.
This is
Alvarado.
Jenna, I apologize on behalf of the show that you had to be subjected to such foolishness on your first day back. Nick, you said some outlandish things.
What?
But this
I just
about
facts.
takes the cake. Just about. I don't care what the numbers say. He's won one playoff round. One. 16 games. All the other guys on that list, they played more playoff games than that in one season. Let alone a career.
Can I ask you a question
too
quickly,
early,
Brew?
like KD would say. Too
Can I just ask
soon,
one question,
bro.
Brew?
Yeah, ask
Brew,
yes.
one
please.
question.
And then
One
I'll
question.
continue.
Your patron saint of basketball, Michael Jordan, he was called, I think, what was he called? God or Jesus by Larry Bird.
Well,
At that point,
that was by Larry Bird. That
Michael
was by
Jordan,
another player.
Yeah, that was by Larry Bird. This
That
is by
was
Nick
another
Wright.
player. That wasn't the media.
Michael Jordan had won one playoff game, 0 playoff series. Was Larry Bird? I'm just curious. Do you think he was over his skis, wrong, or could he just see it? Could he just feel it? Could he just tell the gist of the player? I'm just curious, bro. We saw it with MJ.
I'm going to educate you. Larry Bird, after Michael Jordan scored 63 points, said, I think he was God disguised as Michael Jordan. The media,
Yeah, that's right.
the caretakers of the narratives of the sport, were killing Michael Jordan. Yeah, they praised him for the 63 points, but through his first several years,
How'd that age?
he was getting criticized by the media. Even as he's got the come fly with me videos and the Jordan sneakers that everybody wanted, he was being criticized because he had yet to win a conference championship, let alone a semifinal round. Nick, I love Luka too. I mean, not as much as you, but I love Luka. I coined the phrase Luka legend. I think I was the first. Maybe not, but I was up there. All right, because I thought he was a new age Larry Bird, and I think he is. But Nick, this would be like saying you could have said the same thing about LeBron James in 2007 after he destroyed Detroit in the conference finals. Hold on. Now let me finish. To get to the NBA finals. He was fantastic. He had been fantastic throughout his 2 playoff seasons. And then in the finals against San Antonio, he struggled mightily. Not just because they were swept, but because he couldn't hit a jump shot. And then in 2010, he struggled against Boston in the Eastern Conference Finals. And then in 11 against Dallas. Now, LeBron went on to redeem himself, but it would have been premature. We all think Luka's going to be great. So I can come out here and say he's going to be one of the greatest players ever. But I'm saying this is just way premature. Not to mention, one of the stats you didn't put up there, Nick, the 63% foul shooting in the playoffs. Now, let me tell you about foul shooting.
Don't care.
Foul shooting is where your mind has to be strong. Because you can shoot and not think about it, play on instinct, but all over the court. But when you get to that line, it's just you and your mind. And Luka shot 63%, falling from 75% in the regular season. So that tells me he got to work on that. Not just physically, but mentally. He's won 1 round. You also forgot to bring up that when was it, a year or 2 ago, when he was up 2-0 on the Los Angeles Clippers, going back to Dallas, and they lost?
Yeah, back to
We
Dallas.
just killed Doc Rivers.
That's correct.
Just killed Doc Rivers for blowing playoff leads, Wilds. But we're gonna say, Luka's one of the greatest playoff performers ever. This is no different than the analytics brigade saying that Nikola Jokic, who's been to a conference final, mind you, is the greatest offensive center ever because they're looking at his numbers. It's too soon, bro. Too soon, bro. KD, it's too soon, bro.
You know how?
Come on.
Just quickly.
Yeah.
You know how I know that Brew has been boxed in here? Because the 2 examples he used of why this is a bad thing to do was the treatment of Michael Jordan and LeBron James, both of which turned out to be ludicrous, and because when Brew plays the what about his free throw percentage card, that's when we know we're running out of cards. When it's the old free throw percentage worries me.
Because free throws aren't important at all. I mean, Wild.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying if we're that far down in the deck, Wild.
Go ahead, Wild.
I'm exasperated.
Okay, so here's the thing, Nicholas. Just quick personal anecdote, Jenna. Welcome back. I didn't give you this update. My son scored back-to-back 100% score on his test, his math and his writing test. And I looked at him and said, you know what? you might be one of the smartest kids of all time. Might be one of the smartest adults of all time. And he looked at me and said, Dad, it does get harder the longer we go on. I said, you know what? Fair point. I'm going to mention that to Nick Wright when he talks about Luka. Because the playoffs go on. You start to get some more games under your belt. You do start to see some duds. But Luka hasn't had the chance to get to the dud stage. We just saw CP3 have a perfect game yesterday. What did he do the day before or the game before? 4 points. Because he has a long history, and you throw some duds in there. There's a guy named, hold on. LeBron James had an 8-point. This says LeBron James had an 8-point game in the finals. That can't be right. Yeah, Dusty, get on that. Yep. That's that right? Even Michael Jordan, the great Michael Jordan, when he's playing against the Frisky Magic, the then Frisky Magic in 1996 had 17 points. So yes, Luka's on a nice trajectory.